I'm over here today, sir. I'm moving on you. I'm moving on you. Good evening, all.
Good evening.
My name is Leslie Wester. My pronouns are she, her. I'm a tenured full-time faculty member here at Triton College. I stand here before you knowing that I have great privilege. I am a cisgender, able-bodied white woman, and when I see something, I need to say something. So here I am. At last month's board meeting, I witnessed some behavior that did not sit well, and heard some things that truly hurt me, friends, and colleagues. This inspired me to speak tonight. To quote Irina Swart, quote, "A tongue has no bones, but it is strong enough to break hearts, so be careful about your words," unquote. 2.5 years ago, a colleague of mine, a black woman, spoke in this very boardroom highlighting biases with regards to hiring practices. Those comments seemed to reignite a spark for diversity, equity, and inclusion on the campus. Many of us attended an anti-racism conference. The DEI committee was reincorporated and recognized more. We began working with Kaleidoscope and incorporating DEI into the strategic plan. Yet during the presentation on DEI at last month's board meeting, comments were made by the board regarding DEI and how some companies are out to make a buck. This minimizes the work many of us are doing to create an environment at Triton College that embraces DEI. As the presentation continued, the presenter, a black man, kept getting interrupted by the boards with statements regarding treating all people better. This seemed to ignore the concern at hand, that people of color specifically are not feeling respected or heard at Triton College. This was then followed by a disgraceful comment by the board regarding the assassination of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. To quote Sigmund Freud, quote, "Words have a magical power. They can either bring the greatest happiness or the deepest despair," unquote. The words used to describe the assassination of Dr. King brought great despair to many who heard it, but it also brought a connotation to some as a threat. A black man is sharing a presentation focused on uplifting and supporting people of color at the college. The board then ties into the conversation the assassination of a powerful black man fighting for civil rights. I can absolutely see that threat. I believe others have too. At least 5 administrators and mid-managers, mostly people of color, have resigned from the institution since the last meeting. I do not believe it to be a coincidence. These words are also heard out in the community. Could this trickle down to impacting enrollment? Are members of the community hearing the words of this board and thinking I'm not welcome at Triton College? Who else feels fear here? Who else is afraid to speak up because of comments like this and just the overall culture of fear at this institution? I want to use my voice, my words, to share this perspective in hopes to spark more positive change at the institution. We must do better. Thank you.
Thank you, Leslie. I would just say to you that I obviously made a couple of interruptions, Darrell, and listening is a very important skill. Sean, would you make sure that from now on, I want the meetings recorded again. If there's cost, I'll personally pay for the cost, because this kind of thing is going to happen. I'm not going to have my words purposely twisted and strangled up to fit any purpose. My comments were about the fact that real efforts, like the one we're engaging in right here at Triton, are important. And I believe what I said, and I'm pretty sure, because I said the words, were that it's unfortunate that today's society, it's almost become for some an economic opportunity, right? Race baiters, and on both sides of the issue, okay? And that was what my statement was, plain and simple. I said about Martin Luther King, it's a shame that a man like King, who was killed for his beliefs, who had the courage to go out knowing, he said in all of his speeches, I may not get there with you. I quoted the speech last week. And either you didn't listen well, or you didn't want to. I don't really know what it was, but I will assure you this. There is no greater figure in the 20th century than Martin Luther King. I think I indicated that. And here's a man who had the courage of his convictions, who didn't make a dime off of what he was doing. And my statement, as you might recall, was that unfortunately in today's day and age, the Martin Luther Kings are few and far between. And that's in all aspects of our lives. So if you misunderstood what I said, I'm sorry, I'll make it more clear next time. And I certainly hope that those that were here understood what I meant, because you know what? I got a feeling they probably did, because nobody called me on it. So I thank you for your comments. Our next speaker is, let's see here, Jerry Brewer, regarding the updates on. Okay, our third and final speaker is Cassandra Hutchinson from Oak Park regarding new trustees and DEI. Ms. Hutchinson, please.
Hi.
Good evening.
Good evening. Can everyone hear me?
Yes.
Great. Good evening, board members. Welcome to our newest trustees, Trustee Hernandez, Trustee Jennings. Your addition to the board is an opportunity for the college to reset and get a better footing on actual progress, not only for students, but for staff as well. Kindness. I want to take a quick moment to mention kindness. Kindness summed up at Triton is AVP Darrell Carter. He greets you with kindness, kindness to all. I wish him well in his next endeavor. His departure, along with other recent resignations and upcoming retirements, leave a gaping hole in the fabric of leadership at Triton. Diversity, equity, inclusion. Are we there yet? With the departure of AVP Carter, who heads the DEI committee, I fear that DEI will be dead on arrival because there does not seem to be an urgency on the part of the board nor senior leadership to root out bad policies and replace them with policies that advance fairness and career building. For those that are interested, the Kaleidoscope DEI recommendations and associated addendums, 4 in total, can be found on the employee portal under Human Resources, located under the Employee Resources tab. Read for yourself how much work needs to be done to achieve DEI at Triton. As trustees and administrators, you set the policies that influence and shape the leadership at Triton. This institution needs to be worthy of the staffers. At some point that may have been the case, but that is not the case today. Triton should not be the place where the careers of some get hijacked and sidetracked, while others are handpicked, favored, mentored, and advanced without merit. The leadership style at Triton has intentionally harmed careers. The lack of advancement affects the ability to generate and enjoy financial progress within families from one generation to the next. It affects retirement income, higher educational affordability, generational wealth, and can bring stress into a household. Be stewards of good expectations and outcomes for all. No matter our job title, we are colleagues. Lift one, lift all, or lift none. Keep it professional, not personal. Diversity, equity, inclusion for all. Will we ever get there with the present leadership? Thank you.
Darrell, can you come in here for a second? So you're going to Missouri, and we wish you Godspeed, and thank you for your efforts here. You've been recognized in one of the chats, and I thought it'd be good to mention for everybody to say bye. And we wish you the best. Okay, we're going to go to the reports and announcements for employee groups. Leslie.
Well, I'm not Leslie.
No, you're not Leslie.
I'm sitting in front of myself. I'm her VP. I'm Daniela Mani. I cut my hair since last week. So
You know what? They did a good job, too. It looks nice.
Yes, thanks. It wasn't my good. All right, so, good evening. I have a rather somber report this month. It is a sad day for Triton College. On Friday, August the 20th, the TCFA held a vote resulting in 88% of the tenured faculty of the college no longer having confidence in the abilities of Dr. Susan Campos, Vice President of Academic Affairs, to lead the academic department of Triton College. As you know, Dr. Campos used to be one of our union executives. Arriving at the point of holding a vote of no confidence was a difficult decision and one that gives us no pleasure. But it didn't come without warnings. We spoke before the board against her nomination without a national job search for the vice president position on January 27, 2019. On February 12, 2021, the TCFA issued a letter of concern to Dr. Campos, copying President Mary Regan Moore, detailing how the vice president's decisions were damaging, among other things, to the college enrollment rate. Dr. Campos documented bullying tactics, her lack of respect for shared governance, her retaliatory attitude, her lack of support for her department, initially jeopardized and finally damaged Triton College. We are submitting to you all via email, but I can also hand you this packet, a detailed explanation of the reasons for our vote. But let me give you just some recent examples. Number one, disregard of shared governance. Dr. Campos routinely pressures the chairs of important academic committees, forcing her agenda on committee work and resulting in resignation of former chairs from the assessment and the academic standards committee. Number two, bullying and retaliation. After one of our colleagues challenged her ideas on academic syllabi during an academic senate session, Dr. Campos ordered the dean's office to conduct a thorough and targeted review of that faculty's syllabi alone. Number three, recent departures from academic departments are attributable to the detrimental work environment she has created. And if you'd like to check, should be documented in HR exit interviews. The dual credit office, the Dean of Arts and Science office, and the Grants office are all reduced to a single administrator or a part-time employee. These are the offices that, in collaboration with the faculty, brought to the college $1 million in Title III federal funds, which, among other things, paid for the iLaunch lab, for which one of our faculty received a national award, and they know that that was appointed for campaigning for some members of the board. They brought an additional $2.8 million in Title V federal funds. These funds allowed the college to target remedial and developmental education in our district high schools. For instance, with transitional math programs, and then create a path for students who come to Triton from those high schools and transfer to a four-year institution. As I said, it is a sad day, but we hope that this time our concerns are heard. And we can work together to move forward and build a stronger and also more united Triton.
Thank you very much. Unanimous, I think, is a full vote. Then we have 643, G&M electrical contract and air purifier installation. So we water them installed. Good evening, and thanks for coming. Please come out at other meetings, and if you can, if you'd like to have you here, thank you for coming. Bye, you guys. Then we have EEO and Affirmative Action Program FY21 summary. We have 1640, 16,644, 16,645.
There you go, folks. You seen it right there. Like I said, I've been in the military. I've been to Afghanistan. I come back and I see total. It's just, I know character. I know people. And what I sense is total BS from this man's mouth. He disregarded, not even acknowledging the actual people's, what's going on here. He just totally disregarded and not even acknowledged it. So you can all review this if you like, you know. But what I see is a bunch of BS, and it's just wrong. There is no diversity at Triton College at all. There is nothing.